Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer, coming to you over the festive seasons. We wish you a happy and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2026. Our special editions is dealing with the Constitution of Kenya. As we told you in the previous episode, in 2010, when this constitution was passed, Kenyans never read it. They left it for Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki to read. And in the year's vote, everybody voted without having read. The two are dead. May God rest their peace, their souls in eternal peace. Court Helicopter brings you Chapter 9, the Executive. The executive is a very contentious issue. This is where everybody wants to go. This is the ultimate prize to be a president, to be a cabinet minister. Who are the members of the executive? Court Helicopter today brings you Chapter 9, the principles that are of the executive authority. Article 129 gives it that the executive authority of the Republic of Kenya derives from the people of Kenya and shall be exercised in accordance with the Constitution. That it is the people. Remember, Article 1 of the Constitution says, we the people. We are the sovereign. Remember the BBI case? The courts found out that it is the people who are supreme, not the president. Uhuru Kenyatta was found out not to be the supreme person, but the people were found to be the supreme. So in Article 129, it says it is the people who give authority to the head of state. Can President William Ruto make decisions without approval of the people? No. Article 129 has told you, you are the sovereign. It goes on to say, the national executive. The national executive is found in Article 130. What is the national executive? The national executive of the Republic of Kenya comprises 1, the president, the deputy president, and the cabinet. That is what is called the national executive. The president, the deputy president, and members of the cabinet. And Article 2 says the composition of this national executive shall reflect the regional and ethnic diversity of the people of Kenya. So the president cannot appoint in the cabinet only members of one tribe. He can't appoint, like now, the president comes from the Kalenjin community. He cannot appoint a deputy president from the Kalenjin community. It must be from outside. He must have the question of balancing tribe and gender. Remember the 2/3 gender rule. The president must have AV as men, 2/3 must be either from the gender of men and 1/3 from the gender of women. Then he says, part 2, what is the power, authority of the president? The authority of the president. Today you know the powers of the president. 1, in Article 131, the president is the head of state. Is the head of state. That is the Republic of Kenya. And government. Government is different from the state. The state is permanent. Kenya is a state from 1963. It does not change. But governments come and change. We had the Kibaki government, the government of PNU. We moved to Uhuru government. It was the government of Jubilee. We moved to William Ruto. It is the government of UDA. But the state, Kenya, remains the same. So in Article 131 A is the head of state and the head of government. Number 2, the president exercises the executive authority of the republic with the assistance of the deputy president and cabinet secretaries. The executive authority of the Republic of Kenya is vested on the president. He will be assisted by his deputy president. Right now, we have deputy president Professor Kithure Kindiki and members of the cabinet. 3, he is the commander-in-chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. The president is the commander-in-chief of the Kenya Defense Forces. The Kenya Defense Forces are the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. KDF does not include the police. It does not include the prisons. It is the Navy, the Air Force, and the Kenyan Army. 4, he is the chairperson of the National Security Council. This is what is called the National Security Council. We shall be dealing with it shortly. He is the chair. He sits as the chair of the National Security Council. It is the organ that deals with the nation's security. It makes the decisions. The president chairs that council. E, he is the symbol of national unity. Anytime the president appears, he is the symbol of national unity. The president does not represent his tribe. The president, whenever he moves as the symbol of national unity. He embodies all the 55 million Kenyans. Whether you voted for the president or you didn't vote the president, he is our president, and he is a symbol of national unity. Any country he goes, he represents the Republic of Kenya. That is a very critical issue that people need to understand about the president. The president is the symbol of national unity. Wherever he is, he represents the interests and the aspirations of Kenyans. So the president must move above party politics. The president must distinguish the politics of his party. His government, when he forms government, he forms the government of the Republic of Kenya. He does not form a government of his political party. Part B, what is required of the president? Number 2, it says the president shall. Remember, in law, when we talk shall, he must. He has no options. The Constitution mandates the president, 1, to respect, uphold, and safeguard this Constitution. Remember, the president takes an oath of office. You see him carrying the Constitution, that he will defend and uphold the Constitution. Whenever any issue about the Constitution is found, the president must uphold, defend, and safeguard this Constitution. Among the grounds to impeach the president is if he is found to have violated a constitutional provision, because he was sworn in to uphold, defend, respect, and safeguard the Constitution. Number 2, the president shall safeguard the sovereignty of the Republic. If there is a country that attacks Kenya, that is why the president is the commander-in-chief. He will declare war against any country that attacks the sovereignty of the Republic of Kenya. That is why the president is given a sword during his swearing in to defend the territory or the republic called Kenya. 3, the president shall promote and enhance the unity of the nation. The president must promote and enhance the unity of the republic. That is why the president, whether he was elected or not elected by any part of this country, the president is the president of everybody. He's agenda must be an agenda of the whole nation. It can't be an agenda based only on where he got votes from. Then we have D, the president shall promote respect for the diversity of the people and communities of Kenya. The president must promote the diversity of ethnicity. You have seen the president going around in every part of the country. When the Kamba cultural function is there, the president will attend. If it is the ethnicity, if it is a cultural festivals of the Mijikenda, the president will be there. So the president must enhance, promote, and defend the cultural and ethnic diversities of the people of Kenya. The president equally shall ensure the protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms and the rule of law. The president's job is to promote and defend human rights. You've seen every other time, whenever there's a violation of human rights, the president is brought to book to explain why the human rights violations are there. The president must ensure the rule of law is upheld in this country. Remember, President William Ruto, on several decisions cabinet has passed, he has assented. The courts have reversed those decisions. The president must comply with that. When do we give a very good example? In the year 2017, the Supreme Court nullified the election of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The President Uhuru Kenyatta complied with the decision of Justice Maraga's Supreme Court, and they went back to an election. That is why Article 131 is very critical, that the president must protect human rights, fundamental freedoms, and must obey the rule of law. And lastly, the president shall not hold any other state or public office. Once you become a president, you cannot hold any other office. Any public office, the president cannot hold any other public office other than his office as the head of state and head of government. What are the functions of the presidency? What functions is the presidency supposed to do? Article 132 provides this. The president shall, A, address the opening of each newly elected parliament. So the president, after every election, he must address the newly elected parliament. 2, he must address a special sitting of parliament once every year and may address parliament at any other time. So every year, the president must go to parliament, address parliament. He gives his vision. He accounts to the people. Remember, parliament is the people's representatives. So they put the president to account. So the State of the Nation address, where you see President William Ruto, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and any other president who will come, he must address at least once a year. Remember, the counties, governors are also supposed to address the county assembly every year once. 2, the president can, as necessity arises, address parliament depending on what issues are there. 3, once every year, 1, the president shall report in an address to the nation on all the measures taken and the progress achieved in the realization of national values referred to Article 10. We dealt a lot with Article 10, transparency, accountability, all those issues. The president must address parliament on that issue. 2, he must publish in the Gazette the details of the measures and progress so he must put this thing into the Kenya Gazette. 3rd, he must submit a report for debate to the National Assembly on the progress made in fulfilling the international obligations of the Republic. He must send every year to Parliament his report on international relations. How is the country faring on in the diplomatic circles? How is Kenya dealing with diplomatic issues? Because people, the Republic of Kenya, represented by members of Parliament, need to understand that. Number two, the President shall nominate and with the approval of the National Assembly, appoint and may dismiss. The powers of the President. He can nominate the cabinet secretaries in accordance with Article 152. The President nominates the names of cabinet ministers, whose names shall be forwarded to Parliament for approval. Two, he has powers to nominate the Attorney General in accordance with Article 156. Three, he has the power to nominate the Secretary to the Cabinet in accordance with Article 154. D, he has power to nominate Principal Secretaries in accordance with Article 155. E, he has power to nominate High Commissioners, Ambassadors, and Diplomatic and Consular Representatives. He nominates the names. Lastly, F, in accordance with the Constitution and any other state or public officer whom this Constitution requires or empowers the President to appoint or dismiss. So the President nominates the names of the Inspector General of Police. The President nominates the names of Cabinet Ministers, Attorney General, and these names must be taken to Parliament for vetting. The third most powerful, another issue, the President's powers are the President chairs cabinet meetings. B, he directs and coordinates the functions of ministries and government departments. He coordinates functions of all ministries and government departments. C, the President, by decision published in the Kenya Gazette, can assign responsibility for the implementation and administration of these people. He assigns cabinet ministers duties. That is what is called Executive Order 1. The President assigns duties to cabinet ministries. He assigns portfolios to which ministry. He assigns jobs to the cabinet secretaries through an executive order that reorganizes government. Every time the President wants to reorganize government, he does it through an executive order. Function number 4, the President may perform any other executive function provided in this Constitution. He can create offices in the public service in accordance with the recommendations of the Public Service Commission. The President has power to create offices. Very many people are asking, where does the President get power to create offices? It is under Article 135, Article 132, sub-article 4A. 2, the President has power to receive diplomatic and consular representatives. You have seen ambassadors when they come here, they must go to give their credentials to the President at State House. That is a constitutional mandate of the President of the Republic of Kenya. C, the President has power to confer honors in the name of the people and the Republic. So the President can give you the Order of the Burning Spear. The President can award you. The President can confer orders. Every Jamhuri Day, the 12th of December, every Jamhuri Day that comes on the 12th of December every year, the President confers honors to distinguished Kenyans who have done a good job. D, the President under sub-article 58 can declare a state of emergency. As I said, the President is the commander-in-chief. If there is war, the president under Article 58 can declare a state of emergency, but within 2 weeks, that state of emergency declaration must be approved by Parliament, then it is gazetted. E, the president, with the approval of Parliament, can declare war. So the president can declare war, but with the approval of Parliament. It goes on to say, the president, number 5, the president shall ensure that the international obligations of the Republic are fulfilled through the actions of the relevant cabinet secretaries. All international obligations where Kenya has signed, it is the responsibility of the president to ensure that cabinet ministers or cabinet ministries are able to implement international relations. The president still has a lot of powers, which we will continue in the power of mercy. Article 133. The president, on the petition of any person, the president may exercise the power of mercy in accordance with the advice of the advisory committee established under Article 133. What is the power of mercy? The president can grant a free or conditional pardon to a person convicted of an offense. Were you aware? The president can pardon. The judges jailed somebody to prison. The president can pardon and forgive that person. 2, he can postpone the carrying out of a punishment either for a specified or indefinite period. You have seen this in America, where the presidents, when they are leaving office, they forgive their allies. In Kenya here, the president can pardon you, or if you are supposed to go to prison, you can appeal to the president and the president will pardon you or suspend that decision. So the president has those powers. C, the president, under the power of mercy, can substitute a severe form of punishment, or he can remit part or of that punishment. So the president has power to pardon anybody, but subject to an advisory committee on the power of mercy. Let us look at Article 134. How does the president exercise powers during temporal incumbency? The temporal incumbency comes when, it says, a person who holds the office of the president or who is authorized in terms of this constitution to exercise the powers of the president during the period commencing on the date of the first vote in a presidential election and ending when the newly elected president assumes office. When Uhuru Kenyatta was the president, William Ruto was declared by the IEBC to be the president-elect. Does Uhuru Kenyatta have powers as a president when there is a president-elect? Have you ever thought about that question? In 2027, if William Ruto loses the election, there is a new president-elect. Will William Ruto, the president, have the same powers the way we have done? Article 134 provides for when one has a temporal incumbency. Either he has lost in election or he has served his 2 terms and he is not viable for election for the 3rd time. What does he do? During that period, the president, while the president is absent or incapacitated or at other times contemplated in Article 147, the president is not present. The president is incapacitated. What can the president do? The president may not exercise the powers of the president specified in Clause 2. The president cannot nominate, he cannot appoint, he cannot do those powers that he had because all those powers are kept until the new president comes to office. So that now you now understand, upon a new president being declared the president, the former president is only holding office for the new president to come. He cannot appoint, he cannot fire, he cannot do anything. But he retains the office until the new president-elect is decided. That is the powers of the president. The next episode, because this is a very controversial issue, we shall be looking at how does the president get elected. Wakili Danstan Omari stopping it at Article 134. As we proceed to Article 135, we wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you very much from Court Explainer.